Hi everyone, I made it back. Oh my God, this has been a crazy busy month. Unbelievable. So I'm here. I made it back. Safe and sound. I didn't think I was going to be here. Oh my God, there's just been so much going on. So, how is everybody? I hope everybody's happy. Beautiful sunshine that we're finally getting. Lovely. So, as we begin, the voice is still a little bit froggy, so you're going to notice that it's still a little off. It's coming back. Just, been really, really busy. And with the last few years of all the things going through, taking care of mom and then selling her house after she passed away, and then moving, just a lot of things. And then your whole body starts to do this. Wow. Time to take a break. So my body was just ready to stop. And it kind of showed me that. Stop moving around, take it easy now because you're run down. So that's kind of why I got laryngitis, lost my voice. So here we go. I don't care, I got a foggy voice and I'm back. And I'm ready to help. So if anybody's out there that's interested in the Emotion Code Body Code, it's an amazing modality. It's so effective. I mean, if you have physical pain or emotional pain, we can find trapped emotions because trapped emotions are generally what is triggering this to take place in one's system. And the reason for that is because trapped emotions have a frequency all their own. So when they get trapped in the body, like if you go through something traumatic or challenging or difficult, it stays there. That frequency stays in your body. And then it weakens the body because your organs and glands, they function at a specific frequency to keep everything moving and running. And everybody's frequency is different. So the more challenges that we've been through in life and experiences, the more trapped emotion can be trapped in your body, weakening the whole system, lowering your vibration. So let me just give you a quick synopsis about myself for those of you that are new here. And let me just see who is here. Let me just say, hang on. Let's just take a quick peek. Hang on, okay. Okay. All right, so when everybody tones in, just let me know that you're here. That way I can address you and say, hey, how are you? So, a little synopsis about myself. I have been an energy medicine practitioner for the last 25-ish years, and I've worked with many different modalities, and I switched up 4 years ago to the Emotion Code Body Code and just have loved it ever since. And then others, and I'm, loving the fact that we're working in the quantum field, we're working in that invisible field around us. And when you work in that, you can make things happen because that's where everything happens. Everything doesn't happen in matter in the three-dimension plane that we live in. It happens in quantum. So just so that you have a distinction there. So let me just give you an indication of how this works. It's a simple process. And let me just see if I have a little magnet here for you that might help more. I usually just use my fingertips. It's just so much easier. And you can use just a cheapy little magnet off your refrigerator. I mean, it doesn't have to be an expensive one. I've had some expensive ones through the years, and I just stopped using them altogether because your fingertips are magnetized, so you can use your fingertips. So, with that said, this is what this is all about. It's applied kinesiology and muscle testing with intention. So you set the intention, and once you have found what's going on in your body, and the way that we do that is we connect with your subconscious higher self, and that's how we do that. So it's designed to help alleviate physical and emotional wounds. So it works on the whole body, not just one area or one thing. Okay, and it does that by identifying and correcting the root issue. So the body does go through a little bit of a shift. You can feel it. It's an internal change. But even your perception will shift and will change with it. So you'll notice changes in your body. The pain will be less. If you have pains in your hips or your knees, and I suggest to people, everyone that comes on board, what's the pain level? From 1 to 10. 10 being the worst, oh my God, take me to the hospital. Where's the pain level? The pain level will drop generally during the session or within the hour or two after, okay? And then if it's an emotional thing, anxiety, panic attacks, you'll feel your nervous system start to do this. Unwind a little bit and relax and calm down. Your mind won't be racing. You'll see a difference. You'll feel a difference. And that's the biggest part of this. You'll feel a difference. So anytime somebody has an emotional experience in life, if those emotions didn't have a chance to fully process, they become stuck in the body. And that's what we're talking about rather, and that's what we're working with. Now, the majority of trapped emotions get stuck in the body when we're young, when we're just little kids, and they stay there. And then they can create more and more layers as we become adults. And 90%, 90 to 95% of people and animals have emotional or physical pain, and that's due to the emotional trauma that they've been through, and it causes emotional problems and issues and physical pain and inflammation, pain, congestion, recurring emotional distress. So there's a lot to this, depression, even anxiety. So everything is energy and has a vibration. This includes your organs and glands and emotions. And I know I keep repeating myself, but emotions have a frequency because they have an energy to them. So some vibrations that we attract are lower frequency than our own organs and glands, and it causes them to weaken and work less effectively. And that's why the body weakens. That's why we start to feel out of sorts, because the frequency's dropped. And this can bring all kinds of things to the body. I mean, things like liver disease, heart disease, stomach ulcers, hernias, kidney stones, cancer, bladder issues, diverticulitis, gallbladder, thyroid. You know, and in some cases, and I'm sure many of you have heard this, replacements, hip replacements, knee replacements, you know, having to have your gallbladder released, things like that. It's because it just couldn't work anymore. There was just too much going on, and it weakened it. So let me just see if I can turn this a little bit and see you. All right, I don't see anybody here yet, but let's just try this. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, so as we continue, okay, let's just turn this off so that I can see. Boom. All right. Anyway, so let's continue with this. And just take a short diversion here. I just want to see if I can see who's here. Diversion here. All right. And it should be live. It should be public. Just let me know if you're here, if you can see me. Great. Just so that I can tell that the connection is there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here, if you can see me. Okay. Just so that I can tell that the connection is there. Okay. I don't want to hide the chat, so that's cool. Okay. All right, so as we continue and we keep moving forward here, I just want to give you a little more insight. And today, what I thought I would do, I mean, if anybody steps up and they're having pain in these issues, hips or knees, we're going to look for some trapped emotions that might be stuck there that's triggering that. Now, when I moved myself, I ended up having some real pain in my right knee, real pain at the end of the week. And I didn't know what the heck was going on. I thought maybe I wrenched it or something. So I sat down in agony one night. I couldn't take the pain anymore after icing and so forth. And I said, what's going on? I tuned into my subconscious higher self and I said, what's going on? Is there an underlying root issue going on as I tuned into my subconscious that's triggering my right knee to be in pain? And they said, no, right? Using muscle testing, and this is what I use right here. And I got a big fat no. I said, so what's going on? Is it trapped emotion surfacing here or caught here that's ready to be released? And that's what's triggering the pain. And I got a big fat yes. So that's what I did. I worked on that and I released 10 trapped emotions from my knee and the pain went away. It was incredible. So that's why I say, that's why I like to do these to show people. If you're interested in this and you're having pain, let me know. Just step up and say, yeah, I'm here. I'd like to try this. So there you go. Okay. So as we continue, I'm just going to give you a little bit more insight on this. And then, what I'd like to do today is give people, because people have been asking, some insight onto the heart wall. And what's that all about? So before we get there, I work with animals as well. So I work with people and animals, and it's all done remotely while someone is sleeping. And I've had, really good success, great results from that, because their analytical mind, ego mind, is resting, is sleeping, and their nervous system is calm and relaxed. It makes a difference. I got a lot of great feedback from that. And you can go to my website and see some of the testimonials if you're interested in this, energyworkstudio.com. So also, just to keep in mind, this work is also working with circuitry systems like chakras, acupuncture meridians, and energy circuits of the organs and glands, just so you know what we're doing here. So sometimes we have to work in a certain order as well, because the body isn't always ready for clearing a specific area until some balancing is done elsewhere in the system. So keep that in mind. And I'm going to have a little bit of water. If you step up and you want to have a sample of this and try this, let me know. Have some water with you. There's also an educational video on the homepage of my website if you're interested. You can watch that, The Fundamentals of the Emotion Code. And it's just a brief discussion and demonstration of this work, how it works and why. And a little history of myself, the book that I wrote. Let me see if I have it handy here. I wrote this book 4 years ago, Change in Perception. Fascinating book. My spirit team, told me, you're going to be writing a book. You're going to be writing a book. I'm like, what? I'm not even a writer. I can't write a book. You'll be writing a book. So I just kind of went with it. Didn't really pay much attention to them, and I should have, because they always know where I'm supposed to be for all of us, not just me. You have a spirit team that works with you, and they guide us. When we're ready to move on, and we listen to their guidance, it helps. It makes a big difference. So that's what this was all about. So sure enough, it took 3 or 4 months for me to, really get in the swing of what they were talking about and believe it. I started writing, and here it is. It's been very, very successful. You can find it on my website. You can read an excerpt from it on my website. Just go to the top of the page and it says my book. And once you get inside, the publisher set up a website inside my website. You can read an excerpt from it. You can also get the book on Amazon, get it at Barnes & Noble. So it was a big hit. And they've recently told me, you're going to be writing another book. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go again. So we'll be writing another book, guys. So get ready for that. So in the meantime, there's also been some updates on my website. There's a YouTube channel that you can actually click on. You can see some of the segments that I've put together. and I've done for a while. So just click on YouTube at the top of the page. It'll say videos. Those are the YouTube video segments. Okay. So now let me just give you a little insight here about the difference between allopathic medicine, which is doctors, and energy medicine. Because there is a little bit of confusion there. Allopathic medicine is a system with medical doctors and other healthcare professionals like nurses, pharmacists, therapists, and they treat symptoms and diseases using drugs, radiation, and surgery. Okay, and that's what they're trained in. That's all they're trained in. They're not trained to go to the root cause of something and find out why you have this. They're trained to do only that. And energy medicine is a system in which the practitioner searches for that root cause of why that's taking place in your body. What's happening? How come that's happening? And it identifies and corrects an imbalance by going to that root cause of what's triggering that. Could be emotional, could be physical. And we also, again, like I said, we work on animals and we use the same process. So the practitioner is literally extracting from the system low vibration energy frequencies that are stuck in the body, and that sometimes they've been there for a very long time. So not fun if you're carrying this stuff around. Now, the other thing that I wanted to just take a minute and go over with people, I wanted to go over heart walls. I don't talk about it too very often, but the last few segments that I did in June and July, people were asking about that. What is a heart wall anyway? So let me just give you a little insight onto what that is. People that have chronic anxiety, PTSD, depression, typically it's a heart wall issue. So an example of this is having a heart wall can affect the body in two ways. So number one, the first, a heart wall can interfere with the free flow of heart energy through the body, okay? And this can make it more difficult for the body to heal itself and may affect you physically, particularly in the neck, upper back, and shoulders. Okay, so that's one, that's first up. Secondly, a heart wall can interfere with our ability to fully open our emotional heart, not be open, okay, to others, or to even manifest abundance in any aspect of your life. It could be money, could be love, could be a great job. It holds it down because the heart is closed. So the heart, believe it or not, is capable of generating 60 to 1,000 times more power and electromagnetic energy than the brain, believe it or not, making it the most powerful organ. The brain and the heart have brains. So this has been proven. The heart and the brain, when they're in sync, work together. When they're not, the heart, brain, and the brain in the head, the brain in the head listens and obeys the brain in the heart. So when they're not in coherence, there's a disconnect there. And they're out of sync. Circuits cancel each other out. Kind of crazy how that works. So let me just repeat that because it's kind of a tongue twister. Okay? The heart has a brain, and the brain in the head obeys the brain in the heart. So when there's a disconnect between them and they're out of sync, the circuits cancel each other out. So it makes it difficult to communicate because the heart is closed. You can't have a closed heart. You have to open that heart up. So lots of people have heart walls and they don't realize it. So each time somebody experiences something traumatic, the subconscious automatically adds another layer of trapped emotion energy that's already in your system to protect the heart, to that field. It adds to that field, that wall. Okay, so just to give you a heads up, we can have as many as 365 trapped emotions at any given time in our bodies. From childhood on up to our adulthood. They don't just go away. They don't dissolve away on their own, okay? You have to have them removed, extracted. So that 365 that is in your body at any given time, when we go through something traumatic, like a divorce, or if your parents got divorced when you were just a little child, you know, you're only 4 or 5 years old and your parents get divorced, you're not set up for that emotionally. We're not equipped for that. And that's traumatic. Your subconscious automatically starts to set up a wall around your heart because it's to protect the heart from heartbreak and heartache. Okay, and that's why it's set up. A car accident, surgery, anything that's traumatic, your heart and subconscious will set up a heart wall. And they're using what's already in your body. That's why it's low vibration frequencies that are setting up this wall. And what they do is they shave a little bit of energy off of those and they drag it up to the heart, and that's how they start to build a wall. Now, the field of energy around your heart is 12 feet wide. The field of energy around your whole body, the aura, is 6 feet wide. So you can see the difference and how powerful and important the heart is. So in that 12-foot mark, that field of energy can expand well beyond 12 feet if you have a heart wall. The heart wall can expand that far out. I've worked on people that have heart walls that are hundreds and thousands of feet wide. Again, it just depends on the traumas that people have gone through and experienced in life and what's stuck there. Okay, so just so you have an indication of what that's all about. So, in the holistic sense, the heart wall refers to a barrier of emotional energy that we build up subconsciously as a protection, again, to help protect from heartache and heartbreak. So that's done automatically by your subconscious. And that's its number one job, is to protect the heart. Protect that heart. It plays a critical role in keeping the body functioning properly, your emotions in check. So it's important to take care of the body. And that's critical from the traditional health standpoint. You know, diet, exercise, so on and so forth. But also it's important from an energy healing standpoint. Part of the caring of the heart energy is to determine whether you have put up a heart wall. So this work shows how powerful the heart wall is and how working to release it ensures that your heart is free and free of trapped emotions. So this separate space, that's what this is now, this field of energy around your heart, this separate space is set up as a protection for the heart, automatically, again, by the subconscious. And it could be anything, like I said earlier, a death of a family member, a move at a young age, and you're moving across the country, you're leaving all your friends, all your buddies, that's traumatic. Death of a pet, all of that is traumatic. So just to give you some examples there. So the subconscious creates this automatically, and we're not even aware that it's there. We just start to have a disconnect with communicating to people. It's not as easy to communicate because the heart is covered. So 95% have a heart wall and they don't realize it. 95%, that's unbelievable. Have a heart wall and they don't realize that they have one. Now this is something interesting. The book, The Secret, that came out several years ago, the theory behind that is our thinking. It's helpful to think more positively, especially about the self. You know, when we talk bad about ourselves and insult ourselves, that's self-sabotage. That's self-abuse. And that sticks. That sticks with us. That is never a good thing to do. That sticks with us. But what I want to show you is it's the theory behind, you know, thinking more positively works, but it's not 100% complete because trapped emotions radiate their own signature vibration in our system. And that's what is being sent out to the universe at any given time, that frequency. So we attract more of that coming to us. And that's what we attract. Okay? Low vibration. And as a matter of fact, this is the chart that I use Okay, so this is low vibration emotions right here. All of these. There's 60 of them. Okay? And then these are the organs and glands that generate these emotions to come into our bodies. Okay? And they're very low frequency. So when they're in there, I mean, like, I'll just give you an example. Discouragement, betrayal, abandonment, grief, self-abuse, stubbornness, panic, taken for granted, depression, frustration, anger, bitterness, resentment, fear, horror, overwhelm, okay, heartache. There's so many in here. Lack of control, low self-esteem. There's so many. There's 60 of them. So it's for that reason. These need to be released. And when somebody has a heart wall, it generally takes 4 to 5 sessions to release a heart wall, to strip it down, pull it out, and just take it apart, dismantle it, take it down from your body so that you can now breathe again and your heart can communicate better to the whole body, not just other people. Communicate with your whole body better, okay? Organs, glands, tissue. So, let me see if there's anything else I can give you on that. And this is something that was never meant to be there permanently. So it's something that does need to be released, and it will not release on its own. It's for that reason many people live diminished lives. They're sad, they're unhappy, they're unhealthy. And they don't understand why. Because it holds the system down. It's a frequency, low frequencies, and it holds the whole system down in check. So it's important to have that released. So let me just give you, it was never meant to be set up to be there permanently. So it can definitely be released. But let me leave you 5 symptoms that cause breakdown, okay? Low immune system, low energy, out of touch with your purpose in life. I mean, how many people have you talked to that say, you know, I'm sick of my job. I'd like to be doing something else, something more creative, you know? A desensitized heart. You know, that's one actually sees love come to them. They can actually see it. You can analyze it to death. But they don't feel it in here. They don't feel it in their heart. It's because there's a block, there's a wall up. So you don't feel passion like you were before the heart wall was set up. And that can be there for years and years. I mean, I work on people 50s, 60s, 70s, and the heart wall was in place at age 12 or age 7. And it's been there ever since. And you go through your whole life with that. So it's crazy. So because it's closed, people stay in troubled relationships. And you attract another person that has a heart wall because like attracts like. I'm sure you've heard that. You attract other people that have a heart wall. So it's been very interesting. And they take abuse. It's very difficult to get out of a relationship. You're either emotionally abused, sexually, physically, whatever. And you stay because you're in a zone. You're in a comfort zone. You don't really want to jump out and get back out in the world and have to try looking again and start all over again. So people kind of put up with because of fear. Again, fear is one of the trapped emotions that we bring into the body. That's the liver and the gallbladder. Fear. It's another trapped emotion. Okay? Stays in the body. So, love communication becomes estranged. And I just mentioned that. So, you know, we have difficulty communicating with other people, not just our mate, you know, other people, your boss, a best friend, you know, family members. It's difficult because when we're sending out a message, that message has to go through that heart wall with all those low frequency emotions there and bump into them. By the time it gets to the receiver, the message isn't the same. It doesn't come out the same. It's distorted. And lastly, lack of abundance in all areas of your life. I mean, it can be self-love, it can be money and finances, trustworthy, genuine friends, a happy, creative job, health, a loving companion. I mean, how many people have you heard of that? Can't seem to find somebody. Oh my God, what's going on? How come I'm by myself? And how come I can't make any money? How come I don't get that raise that I've been working so hard for? That's the heart wall. So just so that you know and you understand that, that's a heart wall. So I've been on 30 minutes, and I wanted to at least talk about the heart wall today because that was important. That was something that I really wanted to go over with everybody today, since I hadn't had a chance to do that in a while. So if you have any questions, or if any of you are looking for more information on this, again, go to my website, energyworkstudio.com, and leave me a message. Just leave me a message. I'll get back to you. You can leave me a comment here if you like. I'll answer you. Leave me a message here if you like. Any question. So I hope that you found it fascinating. It was something that I've been wanting to do for a while about the heart wall. It really holds a person so down. Time to release that. All right. And you definitely feel a shift when somebody, a practitioner like myself, is working on your system to release these low frequency energies. You feel a shift in your body. You may feel anxiety crop up out of nowhere, but then leave you. It's not going to stay with you, but that's what was trapped in your body. And that's why you're suddenly feeling that. And it'll leave. It won't stay with you. Or, you may feel pain in your left hip. Let's say you had pain in your left hip. It may get a little bit worse before it gets better, and then it's gone. So it's kind of crazy how it works, but it's just because it's being pulled out of your body and releasing, and that's what's triggering that. All right, everybody. I hope everybody has an awesome day. We get that sun out again, and we're loving life. Just love it when the sun is out. So nice. All right. So in the meantime, I hope everybody has an awesome day. Smile, laugh, be silly, be stupid, have fun, laugh and giggle, enjoy the sunshine. All right, everyone. Talk to you again soon. Bye for now. See you next week.